how are we feeling after our first night?
Wonderful.
How are the bodies feeling after yesterday?
Oh, much better.
Little tight.
Little tight, okay, yeah. Last night you were there? No, you weren't traveling.
Oh dear.
Great. Well, today, guys, our main focus is going to be alignment, first and foremost. So we're going to start standing and learn how to align our bodies while we're standing. Also learn how to activate our transverses, the deepest abdominal muscles, and really learn how to utilize those in all of our activities, which is so powerful and will take all of your work and your body to the next level once you learn how to harness the power of your body. So we'll do some standing work, we'll also do some floor work, but let's start first with the block between our upper inner thighs. The block gives us a really good feedback mechanism for the inner thigh. So palms are going to face forward. This is what we call anatomical position. And first of all, starting with the bottoms of our feet. Let's look down at our feet and just see that they are nice and what we call parallel. And notice where your weight is on your feet this morning. Are you standing more on one leg? Are you standing more on the front of the foot or more on the heel? So what we'll practice to begin is just first breath, feeling your feet. So taking a deep in-breath through the nose and an out-breath through the mouth. Feeling the bottoms of your feet. We have about 6 more breaths. And just take these first several breaths with the eyes closed to center yourself in the space and arrive here this morning in your body, noticing areas of tension, witnessing the body. Starting to feel the ribcage expand three-dimensionally and contract like you're squeezing out a wet sponge. We'll bring our awareness, our mind's eye, to the bottoms of our feet and soften and let the feet relax and root into the mat and through the floorboard, down into the ground, through all these levels of the hotel, of the retreat. And then draw your mind's eye into your knees and feel a softness of the knees. So check in, are you locking your knees right now? Chances are you're locking your knees, so find a nice softness. It's an in-between a bend and a stretch, hyper-extended leg. It's a soft knee, and then feel the inner thigh squeeze around the block. And that block squeeze prevents bowing and hyperextension of the knees. It's that little isometric squeeze of the block. We'll try to maintain that isometric squeeze of the block as we bring our awareness, our mind's eye, to our pelvis. And notice if you're subtly taking the tail behind your body. See if you can drop the tailbone straight down as if a 10-pound weight is attached to it. And lift the front of the hip bone and the pubic bone. The lower abdominals, which you'll learn today, are a huge help, a huge aid in keeping your pelvis in what we call a neutral position, which is where the tailbone hangs down vertically. And then you'll bring your mind's eye into your lower back, up through the lower rib cage, and start to feel the ribs expand into the back body. So most of us are very front breathers and high breathers up in your collarbones. So see if you can expand the back lower rib cage. Then we'll bring our mind's eye up into our shoulder girdle, into our collarbones, and see if you can inhale to spread and expand the collarbones. As you exhale and flush your air down the arms. And it should feel like a flushing sensation of your chi or your energy releasing down through the shoulders, through the fingertips. Relaxing into the standing posture. And then bringing your mind's eye into the neck and feeling how your inhales can create space between the vertebrae. So the discs it almost feels like they're filling with air, the discs between the vertebrae. And exhale to lift the crown of the head as though there's a string attached to the top. And it's going to pull the crown as high as it can at the moment. really it's the back of the crown, so that the chin can come into the throat slightly, the jaw can release. And then from here we'll add our breath. So let's inhale fully into the 3 dimensions of the lungs, and exhale fully, drawing the belly button into the spine. And I'll have you guys practice Pilates breath today, which is a deep in-breath through the nose and an out-breath through the mouth. And the out-breath sounds like you're blowing out an earthquake candle. It's a noise. So let's do this together. Deep in-breath, and then exhale, breath out of the mouth, pushing the air out and drawing the navel in, which is very, very different than yoga breath, which you guys might have practiced in the past. Pilates breath is very focused on core activation and drawing the belly up and under the rib cage. And this is starting to activate the transverse abdominis, the deepest abdominal muscle that wraps your organs and increases your spine. And just see if you can wake it up at this moment. Inhaling fully into the rib cage and then exhaling to wrap the waist like a corset, or like you're zipping up a high-waisted pair of jeans. If there's ever fabulous and fashionable high-waisted jeans. Alright? Wonderful. Now we'll slowly open the eyes and just take in the room, take in the beautiful scenery. And we'll place our hands on our tummy. So let's find, first of all, our middle finger on our hip bones and our thumb on our rib cage. Taking a deep in-breath through the nose, we'll try to lengthen the space between our fingers and lengthen this corset that wraps the body. So feel that in-breath, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, draw your belly in, away from your fingers. Into the body, away from the fingers. Using the breath again. Deep in-breath to lengthen, and exhale. All right, you guys starting to feel that activate? You can just give me a little nod, that's great. So you should really feel it, and if you can't feel it without the hands there, then keep your hands there. And what we'll do is then release the hands and take the hands to the hip bones now. Giving your block a nice inner thigh squeeze, we're going to bend the knees and exhale to stretch the knees. And as you bend and stretch, first take note of where your pelvis is. Is it shifting away from the neutral position we set it up in? Still feeling the bottoms of your feet, the relaxation of your toes. Still feeling equal squeeze from both legs on your block. You might notice you're standing more on one leg or you're squeezing with more of your dominant leg. Our job is to try to balance that out. And then we'll bend and exhale all the air to hold. Drawing the belly in deeper. Take an in-breath to take the tailbone behind the body into an arched lower back. Exhale to bring the tail back to neutral. We'll try that again. Inhale, tailbone goes back. Exhale, neutral. And this is about isolating the pelvis.